what's going on YouTube? Today I'll be working on the 2010 Chevy CAMARO. I'll be swapping out the plugs. It's not really a hard task, something really simple. Before I get started, I always like to inspect and see what's in my way. On this car today, it looks like I do not have to take off the intake manifold. So with that being said, I'm just looking for ways to go around and get these coil packs and plugs off. What I will be moving is just breather hose. It goes from here to here and comes to the intake box. I'll be removing this hose. Got 3 coil packs underneath it, 1, 2, and 3 in the rear. I would be moving this breather hose right here to get out of my way. So that's 2 breather hoses on the driver's side. On the passenger side, I'll be removing. I'm really not going to touch this fuel line, but I am going to move this. It's like an evap purge. I'm going to move this out the way. I'm going to unscrew it with this 10. I'll show you how I disconnect this clamp right here. Real simple. Like that. And just walk it off like that. Real simple. I'm going to move. Now, once I disconnect the 10 from it, I'm going to flip it to the left side and begin removing the coils. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to sit it right there, not to get it mixed up. And you see, I just gently move it out my way. That's all. Be careful. Don't need no pressure on it. And just flex the line out your way. That's all. Just move it out your way like that. Alright. Next, I got 3 coil packs. These 2 I'll be able, let me see, I might be able to get that. Yeah, I'll be able to get that with the impact as well. 1. No. A lot of people, you can use a ratchet. Me, all my tools in Milwaukee. Shout out Milwaukee. They get the job done quicker. You know, I'm all about quality and speed. You know, once I just connect that like that. Just like that. I mean, move it out the way. Alright, now when taking coil packs out, I never mix them up. So that's 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. You know, I always keep them in order. So this will be the first one. 1, 2, and 3, and they'll be going back. 3, 2, 1. Reverse, you know. So let me get these plugs out. Give me 1 second. I'm ready to move these spark plugs out. Got a spark plug socket. You know, me, like I said, you can use a ratchet. Here's my baby, Milwaukee 3/8. Got 1 plug out. Oops. You know, that's 1 plug. That's 2 plugs. That's 3 plugs. Now, when it comes down to taking out these plugs, there's really no order. You can take them out however you want to. Me personally, I always do it at the same time. You know, it's much easier for me that way. You see, I got my plugs prepped, ready for installation. These are AC Delcos. These are Bosch Iridiums. You know, these are Bosch, a little more expensive plug. You know, double plat. You know, so let me see how these run in this vehicle. Like I said, installing them, you never drop, under no circumstance, drop a plug into the spark plug hole or cylinder. Always connect it first, and guide it down. If you don't have a magnet on the end of your spark plug, you can stick paper in there and wedge it and work fine. You know, that's how I do it. You know, and this is all real time. I'm just showing you, you know, how I was efficient with my speed. You know, this is the last one. I just ran them down threads by hand. You never want to cross thread. You know, I put my gun onto the lowest setting, which is 1, and I just run them down. You don't even make sparks. That's it. 1, 2. That's it. Up. That's it. You know, like I said, you reinstall the coils the opposite way they was sticking out. So that's 3. This is 2. That's 3. That's 2. And this is 1. You know, like I said, I just changed all 3 plugs, coils, under 10 minutes, you know. Full tune-up on this car, plugs, air filter. You know, oil change will probably run me about 30 minutes. You know, I'm just showing you how to work efficient. There's no cheat to what I do. The only cheat I use is that Milwaukee baby. Alright, so now when it comes down to this is the driver's side. Like I said, coil packs are in here. 1, 2, 3. What you have to do is remove this breather hose. This breather hose sat like that. I removed it like this. Moved it out the way, took the airbox out. We got 3 coil packs. Looks like this coil pack been changed before. You know, other than that, everything is not in the way. You can always flex this harness out your way when getting this coil pack out. That's not a problem. You know, and then, like I said, you know, you work efficient. I got my 10. So I had to switch it to an 8 to take the airbox off. Got my 10 on. Pop them right out. Like I said, you know. That's 1. I'll get that one next. I'll show you how to do it. Oh, look what we ran into. Somebody cross-threaded and ran that plug in there, that coil in there. So I'm gonna have to get that out. I showed you before previously that this one was stripping because somebody cross-threaded it running it in there. So it's nothing to beat yourself up about. What I did, I got me my, this is usually used to take these clips off. It's a pry tool. I wedged it in there. You know, as I wedged it in there, I loosened it, you know, like that. I wedged it so you can see what I'm doing. Let me see. You know. And you just pry it out like that, you know. Just take your time. Don't be rushing. These little errors you run into sometimes when working on cars. Not everything is gonna go 100% smooth when you do run into an error. Don't give it too much of your time. Just sit back, think outside the box, and figure out a way you can do it efficiently. Showed you how I did to get it out. I used a pry tool. I pried it. You see now this copper piece right here is what it screws into. This is where it's locked into. Sometimes when having electric tools, it makes it easier for when you run into errors like this. But on the other hand, what you could have did was just pry it and ratchet it out. You know, me personally, you can take a vice grip, hold it, release it from here, or you can just sit it back in there. It will not hurt it. Me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it like this and just sit it right back in. I'll probably leave a note on top of the coil pack for somebody else. Pry out, pry up, you know, something like that, in case somebody else ever works on this vehicle, they can know what to do. And next, I'm gonna remove the plugs, move this wire out your way. It wasn't really in my way, and you know, so I'm getting ready to put the spark plugs and remove them. You know, this is a typical mechanic problem. You know, we have these issues in the shop sometimes. Whether you're working in your yard or your shop, you know, we're working and I just had the extension. I know it's in my face somewhere, but looking everywhere for it. I'm just prepping this side to get it ready. Looking, you know, and I'm just trying to find this extension so I can drop this spark plug socket down in there, and just had it misplaced. This is why it's so important to make sure you put your tool. Oh, and look what I found. Look at this. Look what I just found. Looking for this. This is the original bolt for the coil pack. So what they did was, instead of using an original, they ran the screw that came with it and cross-threaded. Here's the reason why that happened. Sometimes just because it comes with new hardware doesn't mean you have to use it. There's nothing physically wrong with this hardware. You see you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I got 6 ones. This was original. They chose to change it. They chose to change it. Look what happened. You cross-threaded it. Sometimes you might get a new coil pack. You don't have to use new hardware. Go with the original hardware, you know? And look, I noticed something else. Look, he didn't even put the boot on there. So, my advice is, I don't know whoever this mechanic is that did this work, but I wouldn't give him 5 stars. You know, he's doing lousy jobs. I'm not down for that. I'm gonna correct it. And we're gonna continue to move. Let me try to find my extension. Oh. Extension was right in my face. It was right there on top of the cowl. You know, so I'm gonna put this on. Now I'll get ready to start removing these spark plugs. Remember, you don't always have to change the hardware. You know, look at that, came out easy. Thanks to Milwaukee. Now, maybe like 6, 7, maybe 7. Oh, looks like the boot might be connected to that. I gotta find out right now. Let me go get my magnet. You know, always keep a magnet around. Boot's down there on top of the plug. I'm gonna have to get a pick tool and pick that boot out. Wide, I was able to get needle noses down in there and just play with it. I'm gonna get it out. Just like that. See, you never know what you're gonna run into. Think outside the box. Don't stretch yourself out. All right. I had a little problem on this back cylinder. You know, number one, they used the wrong thread screw, and they cross-threaded the brass. You know, brass is a soft material. They cross-threaded it. Wouldn't come out. So I had to pry it, remove it from the valve cover completely. Put a new plug in. As you see, the boot on the bottom of the coil pack came off, stuck inside there. I used needle nose pliers, pulled it out. It wasn't that bad. Now, when it came back to reinstalling, like I told you, it's just a coil pack transmitting sparks from the coil, from the harness into the coil, to the spark plug, you know. Yeah, it's not gonna be tight, but you know, it's real simple. Just set it back down in it like that, you know. So I'm gonna leave a note on top that says pull up, so the next person, if they ever go somewhere else to get this car serviced, they'll know to just pull it up. They won't have a hard time stressing themselves out about it, you know. Always try to make things easier for your next mechanic. You know, he's your brother in this world. Help him out. Leave tips.